A classic Italian game classical variation Gioco pianissimo with d6 emerges in Dubai Open 2025 Round 2, setting the stage for an intriguing battle. On e4. On e5. Knight f3. Threatening knight takes e5. Knight c6. Bishop c4. Bishop c5. On c3. Knight f6. Threatening knight takes e4. On d3 played by Zemlyanskii. We are now in the Italian game classical variation Gioco pianissimo with d6. On d6. Bishop g5. On h6. Threatening pawn takes g5. Bishop h4 played by Zemlyanskii. On a6. Knight bd2. Bishop a7. King castled kingside. Queen e7. On a4. On g5. Threatening pawn takes h4. Bishop g3 played by Zemlyanskii. Knight d7. On d4. Knight f8. Jiang is aiming to play. Knight g6. On h3. On h5. King h1. On g4. Knight g1. On takes h3, and put immense pressure on the opponent. On takes e5 played by Zemlyanskii. On takes e5. Bishop d5. Zemlyanskii is aiming to play. Bishop takes c6 check. On takes c6. Knight takes e5 and put immense pressure on the opponent. Knight g6 played by Jiang. Jiang is preparing to play. On g4. Knight e1. On h5. On h4. On takes h3 and increase their advantage significantly. Knight c4 played by Zemlyanskii. Zemlyanskii is aiming to play. Bishop takes c6 check. On takes c6. Knight takes e5 and dominate the board. On f6 played by Jiang. Knight e3, it is novelty move. On h5. Jiang is planning to play. On h4. Knight f5. Queen h7. Bishop takes c6 check. On takes c6. Bishop takes e5. Knight takes e5. Knight takes e5. On takes e5 and gain a significant edge. Knight f5 played by Zemlyanskii. Zemlyanskii considers playing. Bishop takes c6 check. On takes c6. Knight takes e7 and dominate the board. Bishop takes f5 played by Jiang. On takes f5. On h4. Jiang is preparing to play. On takes g3. Bishop takes c6 check. On takes c6. On takes g6. Bishop takes f2 check. Rook takes f2. On takes f2 check, and take decisive advantage. On takes g6 played by Zemlyanskii. On takes g3. Bishop takes c6 check. On takes c6. On takes g3. Queen g7. Queen b3. King castled queenside. Rook fd1. Take a moment to spot the best move for Jiang. Rook takes d1 check is best move here because Rook takes d1. Queen takes g6. Queen e6 check. King b8. Queen e7. Bishop b6. Jiang have small advantage. Let's explore the main variation. Jiang might go for Queen h6. Queen e6 check. King b7. Queen h3. Queen takes g6 and dominate the board. Rook fd1 played by Zemlyanskii. Rook d8 is not the best move played by Jiang. Queen c4. Threatening queen takes c6. Queen h6 played by Jiang. Threatening queen h1 mate. King f1 played by Zemlyanskii. Queen h1 check. Knight g1. King b7. Pause the video and find the best move for Zemlyanskii. Queen b4 check is best move here because King c8. Queen e4. King b7. On a5. Bishop c5. On g7. Zemlyanskii have small advantage. Let's explore the main variation. Threatening queen takes c6. King b7 played by Jiang. Jiang is preparing to play Rook h2. King e2. Queen takes g2 and gain a significant edge. Rook a3. Slightly worse move played by Zemlyanskii. Bishop b6. Jiang is planning to play Rook h2. King e1. Queen takes g2 and establish a winning position. Rook b3 played by Zemlyanskii. Zemlyanskii might go for Rook d6. Rook e7. Queen takes c6 check and increase their advantage significantly. Rook d8 played by Jiang. Threatening rook takes d1 check. Rook d3 played by Zemlyanskii. Zemlyanskii intends to play on g7. Rook takes d3. On promotes to queen at gx-h8 and take decisive advantage. On e4 played by Jiang. Threatening pawn takes d3. Rook d4 played by Zemlyanskii. On a5. Rook takes b6 check. On takes b6. Queen f7 check. King a6. Queen c4 check. King b7. On b4. Rook takes d4. Queen takes d4. Rook c8. On b5. Zemlyanskii is preparing to play Queen d7 check. King b8. On takes c6. Rook takes c6. Queen takes c6 and secure a stronghold in the game. Queen h8 played by Jiang. Queen d7 check. Rook c7. On takes c6 check. King b8. Queen d6. Do not rush. Can you find the strongest move for Jiang? King c8 is the correct move because Queen e6 check. King b8. On f4. Queen d8. Knight e2. Queen d1 check. Position is equal. Let's analyze the main variation. Threatening rook takes d7. Queen d6 played by Zemlyanskii. Queen g8 loses position played by Jiang. Knight e2. Zemlyanskii is preparing to play. Knight d4. Queen c4 check. King g1 and dominate the board. Queen b3 played by Jiang. Jiang is aiming to play. Queen b1 check. Knight c1. Queen takes c1 check and take decisive advantage. King g1 played by Zemlyanskii. Zemlyanskii is preparing to play. King h2. Queen g8. Knight d4. Queen c8. Knight e6. On g4. Queen takes c7 check and gain a significant edge. On f5 played by Jiang. On g7. Zemlyanskii might go for. On c4. Queen d1 check. Queen takes d1 and dominate the board. Queen g8 played by Jiang. Knight d4. Zemlyanskii is aiming to play. Knight e6. Queen takes e6. Queen takes e6 and seizes the initiative. Queen takes g7 played by Jiang. Queen d8 check. Rook c8. Queen takes b6 check. King a8. Pause the video and find the best move for Zemlyanskii. Knight b5 is the right idea because Rook takes c6. Queen takes c6 check. Queen b7. Queen e8 check. Queen b8. Queen c6 check. Zemlyanskii have small advantage. Let's analyze the main line. King a8. Queen takes a5 check could lead to immediate trouble. Played by Zemlyanskii. Queen a7. Threatening queen takes a5. Queen takes f5 played by Zemlyanskii. Queen b8. Jiang intends to play. Queen b1 check. King h2. Rook h8 check. Queen h3. Rook takes h3 check and increase their advantage significantly. Queen takes e4 played by Zemlyanskii. Rook e8. Knight e6. Do not rush. Can you find the strongest move for Jiang? Rook c8 is best move here because on c7 check. Queen b7. Queen f5. Queen b6. On g4. Rook h8. Still Jiang is losing. Let's go to the main line. Threatening rook takes e4. Knight e6 played by Zemlyanskii. Zemlyanskii intends to play. Knight c7 check. Queen takes c7. Queen takes e8 check and dominate the board. On g4 is a mistake played by Jiang. Knight c7 check. King a7. Queen d4 check. Jiang saw no escape and decided to resign.